Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, back from my little road trip to Louisiana to take Patrice to see Rick Springfield. It was awesome, by the way. I'm going to go quickly through this page. This is my road trip page for day 21, and I'm recording it in the afternoon of the 21st. We're waiting for the recruiter to come and pick Barrett up and for him to leave to go to basic training. So I really want to be upstairs, but it's like 1:10 right now. We've just gotten word that he's going to be here between 2 and 2:30, so I think I have time. So what I'm doing, I printed some of my favorite photos from this day. It was traveling through Big Sky Country in Montana, on our way kind of across the state down, and at the very end at night we're going to cross into Wyoming and stay in Sheridan. But these photos, I especially love this tree with the red blooms. I took pictures. These are two different trees. This one, kind of had some branches sticking up, and I could get just where it was. This was at a rest stop. Where it was, I could get a beautiful view of the mountains. And then this was another tree that was really kind of pretty. It had almost fall colors, and you could kind of see the rolling hills beginning to lead to the mountains, kind of the foothills. And I have this small picture. This is a picture of a poster for the Testicle Festival, which was July 30th through August 3rd, and we weren't there till August 21st, so darn it, we missed it. But it's apparently a big deal right around Missoula. There are shuttles that will take you out to the festival grounds. There's, music and so forth, and it's to celebrate when they castrate the baby calves and then avail themselves of, so that they'll become steers and not have to be not be as hard to control. And they avail themselves of what are called Rocky Mountain oysters. And so there's a whole festival for that. And I know about that stuff because when I lived in Oklahoma, I had a cutting horse, and he was just my basic riding horse, but he had been a cutting horse on 4 or 5 Texas ranches before I got him. And he was just a natural at this. And we had friends who had cattle, and they invited us and our horses, my first husband and I, and our horses up to help them cut the little calves away from the rest of the herd so you could head them into the pen where they were going to be treated for pink eye and, all the things that you do when you grab hold of a calf, including castrating the baby bulls. So my husband's horse, he was riding a horse that was kind of trained to be a race horse, and he didn't quite get the quick turns and jigging and jagging that you kind of have to do. My horse, all I had to do was hold on to the reins and the saddle horn, and Buttermilk just did it like a natural, like he was back at work. And everybody was going, "Oh, wow, Kathy, you're such a good rider." No, I had a really, really good horse. So anyway, enough about that. But seeing the Testicle Festival sign just kind of reminded me of that day. I took a picture of this tree because, to be honest, I'd never seen a silver, I forget what tree that is, other than kind of fake Christmas trees. And it has red veins kind of throughout it, and little red branches. And then the leaves are just absolutely silver, just beautiful. And then this was a view. I took this photo from I can kind of see a little bit of glare here from the inside the windshield. It was just a view down the road that had these beautiful rocks with the trees, and then you could see the mountains in the distance. So it was definitely, and you can see all of these, well, except this one and this one, feature this big, beautiful, gorgeous sky. So I'm going to title this one Big Sky Country. And I've got this alpha that has maps on it, and it's called Everywhere, but it's not associated with the Everywhere collection from 49 and Market. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna pull the letters. I'm gonna start here. And let me see. I'm planning to use these big letters for the word sky. And I don't want it to overlap there, but that's about where it's gonna come, isn't it? Let me find an S. Okay, where does that open? Okay. S, and here's a Y, and I need to go find a K, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have one, because I don't use those a lot. I'm hoping there's one in here. If not, I'm just gonna use the other letters. Here we have a K. Okay, let me put that aside and see where this can go. If I do that, I can put big and country there. I actually need to move this over because I need more room for country. Let me put these on, and then I'll put the others on. And here, this is, when I do these kind of mostly digital pages, I'm kind of limiting myself in embellishments. And the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge actually requires torn paper. So I've torn a couple bits of paper to go in these areas. So now I can I'm going to bring it down onto I hope I have room for the G. I think these are fairly skinny letters. And so it's really just kind of adding a few accents here and there. And I'm working with the Road Trip collection by Duncan for Carta Bella. And I'm working with some papers. One of the papers I'm working with is from Beach Party. It's the red paper with the crabs on it, and I just love that shade of red, and there's a lot of red in the photos, so I kind of want to put that there, and I sure hope this fits. If it's too big, I don't know what I'm gonna do. If it's too small, I can always add an embellishment kind of down here. And I'm surprised I had some of these left because I know I went through a package of them and used them all up. I must have found these at a it's a fairly I don't want to say old, but it's been around for a while. And I might have found it on the bargain aisle at Michael's or something. And let's see, a while back. John really loved these, and every time I did a travel page, he wanted me to use the map letters. And I think I might have initially had 2 sets. And I kind of went through them, and I know somewhere I have a set like this that's got hardly any letters left. Okay, so now I'm also working with Tourist Mode by Pink Fresh, and this came from the August Mind to Scrap kit. And I'm going to add, one of the things we get points for is using floss or twine or thread, and so I've got this red embroidery floss, and I'm going to fold it a couple of times and stick it through here. And let's see, I'll find a way to stick this through, and I'm going to cut it all and fringe it, kind of. Okay, I'll just cut it and kind of spread it out. But first I need something to put it on. I need to put foam behind it, because I know I want it to kind of stand up. There are 2 papers. This red paper with the crabs that came from Beach Party. And then there's this beautiful sky paper from the Road Trip collection, which has a pretty red on the other side. And so I think I'm going to use this here, and I'm just going to lay it flat and then use that kind of as a background for such things as this. Now that I see them together, I'm not sure I like that. I'm going to use it anyway, though. I may find some way to, because this has, all of Steven's stuff kind of has a nice vintagey look, and this is clearly a kind of a modern aesthetic. I'm going to find this piece right here, kind of anything that I can add. Okay, I've lost a roll of adhesive. Here we go. And I'm gonna layer some things on there. I need to get the right stuff here. Get the right scissors. There's not much I can put on here, but I do have some nice icons and layered stickers that reinforce the travel theme. These stickers are so sticky that it's okay. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to see if I can find an image from here that I can fussy cut. That how about this little red VW. And anything red, I think, is gonna reinforce the red that's in those beautiful flowers, as well as in the branches of that amazing tree. And I'm sorry I didn't get this cut before I came on camera, but I really didn't know how it was going to all piece together. Still don't. Okay, and I can maybe do that right there. And that gives me back something of that vintage feel. There. And I'm gonna do, I think I have a sticker or a, let's look here. See, there's a much bigger one there. I have another one of those stickers, I think. And what I'm looking for is this little gas station icon, which I know I've used this same gas station icon several times, but since it's a road trip and it's known that this is a road trip, and in this part of the country was where we most worried about being able to get gas. And, you know, having a Prius, it's not as big an issue as if we'd had a different kind of car. Okay, there. So I've got that little little bit done. I over here, I'm going to use the torn red paper, but I don't know where it is. I've lost it now. What did I do with it? I'm gonna have to tear another piece, I guess. Where on earth? You probably are seeing it. That's not it. It's not under there. I have no idea. Ah. I had turned it upside down to show you that it was from the beach party collection. Okay, now, let me get this right here. Okay, now I have this that says, this is from Where to Next. It says, just because I don't know where I'm going doesn't mean I'm lost. I could use that, or I could use this that says, let's get lost. And I could cut that down because it has the mountains there. And then what else would I do? I could do this little metal piece right here from the Wander collection by Jen Allyson. I've got some other stuff here. There's a cactus, and I'm pretty sure we might have seen some cacti along the way. Let's see, I have this stuff. Nothing is just speaking to me at the moment. So I'm gonna go with this, and then I'm gonna cut this down and maybe use it you know what? here's a sticker version of that. Let's see if I can find an even smaller one on here. I don't see it. Okay, so let's see. The sticker one is skinnier than this. And I could kind of put this on here on some foam. I could put it right there, and then that could be right here on one of these long skinny pieces of foam. So let's get lost, and then this says, just because I don't know where I'm going doesn't mean I'm lost. And I picked this. In fact, when I saw this, it reminded me of a couple times that we took off and we kind of had enough time that we could just figure it out along the way. We just kind of went the way we felt like going. Okay, so that goes there. And then I need something fun and cute here. And so I'm going to, there's a little stack of suitcases that I've also used before. How about, here's a map that says road trip. And I'm gonna layer it with a suitcase with destination stickers on it and a little camera. I'm not sure how I'm gonna layer those things together, but I will. And then I'm gonna add some sequins from a sequin mix called Road Trippin' from Spiegelmom Scraps, which is in colors that I think will work. There's no red in them, but there's a pink, like the pink in those mountains, and there's black or dark navy blue. I'm not sure which. I called them black before, but then I thought I noticed a blue tinge to them when I looked at the page to photograph it. Okay, let's get this out. And this is from the Road Trip collection by Steve and Duncan. And if you're watching, hello, Steve, and I'm so happy that you made these gorgeous travel collections for me to use for this road trip. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of put that at a little bit of an angle there. I'm gonna put the suitcase at another angle. Like so. And then I'm gonna put the camera. I had little scraps of foam tape, the perfect sizes. I'm gonna put this right there. Okay, and now I'm going to add, that kind of does stand out a little bit as too new-ish looking. I wonder if I can cover up more of it. that works for me. You can't see the full word travel, but it kind of covers up, and I can put a sequin there. It kind of covers up more of that bright white kind of look. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I need. Do I need anything right here? There's an arrowhead that says National Park Service, and we're getting ready to kind of head down into national park territory, and so this wouldn't be, I don't worry about being absolutely literal with things like this, but you know, this is too big. It's not going to fit. So I will save it for another time, and I will add this little truck stop cafe piece. Right there, and I can add a few sequins around that to kind of highlight it a bit. So I'm going to pull all this stuff over, and I'm going to show you where I may do the sequins. I kind of want to do some here. What I want to see is whether there's something here in this collection that I can use to kind of add to this I like that. And here there's this red sign that says "So Memorable," and I'm going to put that on some foam. It's the same color red, but I don't think I'm gonna mind that. And if I don't like it, I can put that right there. And I can put sequins around it again to kind of make it stand out. Okay, I think we're almost done. Let me put these sequins into the holder, and I've got this good for the next day, because I think the next day we did get lost. And I will probably, when I do a page about it, I'll probably tell you the story of how I got lost in on the trip I just did. Okay, so I'm going to do here, 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 and here. And let me get my tweezers, and I'm going to take gosh. There. And I'm going to do one of the pink ones, kind of tucked under there. And I'm going to take a shiny clear-ish one. I'll take another pink. It's a different kind of pink. There. And a green here, and I'm going to kind of tuck it up in there, and then I'm going to take this. Okay, so that's 6. I need to use 20. I'm going to maybe do 1, 2, 3 right there. One of which will be this flat pink. And a green. And I'm going to do one of the little black ones. Okay, so that's 9. I'm going to add a few on here. I'd like you to still be able to tell that that's like a city street map. There, and let me do a large pink. I had a lecture from my brother about being more responsible than to rely on my my car's GPS. But yeah, he was kind of directing me towards Waze, which you have to use on your phone, you know, unless your car's GPS comes with it, and I know some do. But I kind of had to face the fact that, you know, not that I'm old or anything, but I may be set in my ways. And I did something I have never, ever done in all my traveling. You know, anywhere, like recently or a long time ago or anything. I have a kind of a little 3-point check every time I leave the house. Phone, keys, and wallet. And my wallet moves around from my gym bag to maybe just by itself in the car center console, or in this case, I actually carried a fabric bag that, let's see, I'm going to put a couple down here. And so I did my check, and then just as we're getting ready to walk out, Patrice bumped into and turned over the bag, plastic bag that had all the trash from the room service that we had ordered. And it was a mess to stop and pick up. And I must have laid my phone. I had done the 3-point check. And I must have laid my phone on the bed. And it fell off the bed because I took a last pass around the room and didn't see anything. And if it had been on the bed, I'd have seen it. So anyway, we get the car out of, and had to wait to get the car from valet service, and we found our way out of the casino area, which was really difficult to do. My car's GPS wasn't aware of some of the construction that they had going, so it had not been easy getting in. But we got out on the highway, and I'm ready to text my brother to say, we'll be there in an hour. You know, I knew I had to get out of the main part. So when I pulled over to use my phone to text, I didn't have my phone. So to drive all the way back to the casino and go in and ask, and housekeeping had to go in, and they found it, and then they transferred it off to someone in security. And so it was a while, and Patrice was out in the car, so I kept going back and forth to check on her and make sure that she was okay. So it was, and then we got to the restaurant, and my brother was telling me about some construction going on the direction we were going to be going over the Mississippi Bridge, and he gave me, he said you can use Waze for to reroute, and since I don't use Waze, I'm sure my GPS will detect that, and then it'll give me an alternate way. Well, he said, I brought you this map, and it was great because I used his map to get to the alternate route, and then I turned everything over to my GPS, and if I had gone back onto the highway where he told me I should, I'd have gotten right back into the log jam, and so my GPS told me to go beyond that, and I was paralleling the road that I needed to be on, and when it was past the log jam, it led me back onto the road. So it was great. It worked out nicely, and I was so proud of my GPS. Another thing I have to have is at least 2 hearts, and I want to see, I have these 2 hearts that are very tiny, and I like that idea. I'm gonna put them here. I do my overlapping hearts anyway, so it's, and these are in colors that are in the photos, so I'm thinking that's gonna work. Whoops, I picked it up. It's too small for it to glue itself down. This is not working. If I press with my finger, it picks it up. Okay, I think we're done. Let's see what my requirements are. Sequins. Scrap lift, I did not scrap lift anyone for this. Distressed or torn paper, hearts, and twine. And if I want the bonus, I need 20 sequins, so that's that. I was gonna do this road trip page as my scrap backwards page, but I wanted to use the road trip supplies I have, and they are technically not in my scrap backwards kit, so I'm going to do a different page about Barrett leaving to go in the service. So thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow for day 22, and where we're back in Wyoming. We've already been Wyoming on the way to the West Coast. Now we're back in Wyoming, and we're heading to South Dakota because I had never seen Mount Rushmore, neither had John, and we both remember being amazed by it all in our weekly reader sessions, and I believe it was mostly second grade, although my grandmother continued to subscribe to it for me. My grandmother was a third grade teacher at a different school. I went to North Crowley, she went to South Crowley, and in those days, Crowley was big enough to support 2 schools. It's not now. But, okay, so I'm done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. I will have a Scrap Backwards page later today. Maybe the video will go out tonight, and then I'll have another road trip page tomorrow. Bye.